What if the biggest problem in your business was also the most normal, everyday thing you do? Something you've done for, I don't know, decades? Well, today we're going to dive into how one company, Master Purveyors, a real giant in the New York meat industry, finally tackled a 50-year-old headache that was holding them back.
So for more than half a century, Master Purveyors has been like the name in the high-end restaurant world. We're talking about a company with a serious history, you know? Their whole reputation is built on one thing: getting the absolute best quality meat to the pickiest chefs out there.
So let's get into what they do. They're the ones supplying the best of the best, USDA Prime, certified Angus beef, to the top steakhouses in places like New York, DC, Miami, even overseas. Honestly, if you've ever had one of those truly mind-blowing, world-class steaks in any of those cities, odds are pretty good it came from these guys. But here's the kicker. Behind all that amazing quality was a process that was, well, seriously stuck in the past.
Okay, so here's what the daily grind looked like. Just picture it. A chef is calling in their order from a super loud, chaotic kitchen. They're rattling off what they need, and on the other end, a sales rep is scrambling to look up product codes, manually typing everything in, and sometimes they even had to dig through old files just to see what a customer usually ordered. It was just slow, and honestly, super draining for everyone involved.
And you know this old way of doing things? It wasn't just a little inefficient. No, it came with a massive hidden cost. Because every single one of those manual steps was a new opportunity for something to go wrong. A wrong product code, a simple typo, and boom, suddenly a restaurant gets a box of skirt steak instead of the porterhouse they ordered. For a top-tier steakhouse, that is an absolute disaster.
All right, this right here really shows the night and day difference. In the before column, you've got this high-risk, reactive, super time-consuming process. It was basically a constant state of putting out fires, right? But then you look at the after column, and it's all about pinpoint accuracy, being proactive, and here's the big one: more time spent selling and less time spent just digging for information. And really, isn't that the goal of any big upgrade like this?
So the big question is, how did they pull this off? How did they make that huge leap? Well, they brought in a new tool called BlueCart. And this thing wasn't just some random piece of software. It basically became a digital arm of their sales team, built specifically to go after those ancient problems head-on.
And just like that, the whole process got incredibly simple. So here's how it works now. A client just opens an app and places their order. That's it. The order gets logged instantly with pretty much zero chance for human error. Then the right people, the sales reps, the drivers, they get notified right away. And this is my favorite part. The system is smart enough to automatically send a little reminder to clients who are cutting it close to the ordering deadline. So cool.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The team at Master Purveyors really said it best themselves. This quote just nails that whole proactive communication thing we were talking about. See, it's not about bugging your customers. It's about making sure business flows smoothly. It stops all those last-minute panic calls and, more importantly, prevents lost sales.
Okay, so we've walked to the new process, which sounds great. But what about the actual results? What happened? Well, the impact wasn't just some vague, oh, things got better feeling. No, we're talking about a massive, quantifiable change that you could see right on their bottom line.
I mean, look, all of this sounds awesome in theory, right? Better communication, less busy work. Who wouldn't want that? But the real proof, as always, is in the numbers. And there was one number in particular that proved this whole thing was a total game changer.
Get this, a 90% reduction in order errors. Just stop and think about that for a second. Think about all the wasted time, all the products that had to be sent back, all the frustrated clients, all wrapped up in that one number. That is a staggering improvement that affects literally every part of the business, from the person taking the order all the way to the driver on the truck. So how on earth do they do that? Well, it all comes down to something they call pinpoint accuracy. It's actually pretty simple when you think about it. They just preloaded all their product codes right into the system. So the chance of a sales rep punching in the wrong code? Gone, wiped out. The system just knew exactly what the customer wanted every single time. So simple, but absolutely revolutionary for them.
But you know what? The story doesn't even end there with just fixing a big problem. Master Purveyors took all this new efficiency and turned it into a powerful engine for growth. They didn't just plug a hole, they built a whole new rocket ship.
So remember all that time the sales reps used to waste on manual data entry and digging through old orders? Suddenly, all that time was just freed up. So what do you think they did with it? Yep, they started going out and finding new customers.
And here's another great quote from the team that proves it.
This confirms that all those efficiency gains went straight back into growing the business, finding new clients. They weren't just running a tighter ship anymore. They were busy building a bigger one.
Okay, but here's maybe the most surprising part of this whole story. That tool they brought in to fix an internal headache, it actually became a feature they could use to attract new customers. How crazy is that?
I mean, this quote just says it all, right? They literally started going into sales meetings with new restaurants and saying, look, not only is our beef the best you can get, but our ordering system is the easiest and most accurate you'll ever use. Their internal fix became a major selling point. That's a huge win.
So as we wrap this up, it really leaves you with one big question to think about. Master Purveyors found this massive 50-year-old problem that was just hiding in plain sight, part of their daily routine. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What are the old ways of doing things in your own world that might be secretly slowing you down?